These end times are very crucial and detrimental and serious for a reason. I'm going to tell you why. Revelation and awakening. Things being revealed, secrets being uncovered, nothing new under the moon, stars, or the sun. This is a threat, a big threat, for many centuries, for many years, since the beginning of time, ancient times. This is a threat. Truth, revelation, light. It is a threat. Truth is light. It is freedom. It sets the captives free. It is a threat. The Bible knows this. People know this. People in secret societies know this. The enemy himself knows this. As a matter of fact, he knows he's not going to make it. He knows God is the real, true, and living God. He cannot lie. He knows it's going to happen to him. When his time runs out, it's short. When he becomes short, that's why it's going to get bad. The judgment, the purge, is what some people like to call it. The Bible, the book, good book, and I'm paraphrasing. Also, as these last days approach, evil and darkness and people that are in darkness are going to tremble and fall to their knees and be afraid and try to escape. Of course, try to do everything that they can. Because if anything is coming for them, especially. As people wake up and begin to know who they are, the origin of them, their bloodline, who they are, their race, as people begin to know the truth about the light, Jesus Christ, and who they are in that, and things be revealed, secrets be, just everything. Just being, this is a threat. This is a big threat, and I'm going to get into some of these today. So when I say secrets aren't really secrets, they're not really secrets. These are what people who are in the occult and people of light know about. People of light, this is not a focused main priority for people that are of light, though, that is in God. This is not their main focus. On the other side, that is a secret to them. That is kept bloodlines and generations and people who were involved and people and families and how they trace themselves back and who this people is. That is important to them. It's important to them to lie about who you are. It is. And one of those main people, one of those, just one of them, is black people. It's not a secret. I am going to get into depths of this. I am. These Masons and these people who are in the occult and are in these secret societies, they know this. They know this stuff. They don't want you to know it. The enemy doesn't want you to know who you are. They want you to be blind and think that everyone is you. But when you read the book, the good book, and you see things, because God knows who everyone is. He knows who everyone is. When you read that book and you hear things like, I know those, and I'm paraphrasing, who call themselves Jews, but they're not. They are of the synagogue of Satan. Satanic people and people who are in the occult hide behind religion, just like people in voodoo. They just turn themselves into Catholics and call themselves saints. Those saints are actually demons and voodoo gods, deities with a lowercase g. Principalities, princes of darkness, evil, demonic, other dimensional beings. Fallen angels, if you will, whatever they masquerade themselves as. So people in the occult, just like witches, anybody who is in the occult period, practice the dark arts that is in cahoots with evil and belong to that bloodline do a lot of things in the name of religion. They hide behind religion. They hide behind it's mythical, it's metaphorical, it's a religion. It's okay. It's where our people come from. Yeah, your people was wicked. It's a Kabbalah thing. It's a Jewish Zionist. Listen, when you hear the Bible say that there's a God who is an all-knowing God, and he just let out a big lifeline of information when he said that, for real. Because the origins of people really do matter, and who they are and their bloodline and where they come from. A lot of things in the last days are going to be revealed. Who is really the children of God, the seed of the serpent, what bloodline you are from. Listen, this stuff does matter. However, I'm going to keep it a buck and keep it with truth as well, what people don't like to hear. Anybody can come to the light. There's no discrimination. Anybody can enter into heaven. There's no discrimination there. It doesn't matter what color, race that you are. Because if babies and children go there of all different races and colors, you better believe it doesn't matter if you as grown, as old, as 55, 100 years old. If you made a covenant with God, you're on the side of light, if your heart is changed, because only the pure in heart can enter into that kingdom where God is. Only the pure in heart will see him. You can't look him in the face with any spots, blemishes, dirt on you spiritually. He's consuming fire. You can't even look him in the face. You cannot enter in there without being clean. For real. So, but in these end times, as things be revealed and come to light, does this stuff still matters? Yes, there's a revelation. There's talk about an Exodus that is to happen, and a lot of things to come. Prophecy is being fulfilled. Some things haven't happened just yet. We're on the brink of it. When you hear about the changes in weather patterns and the stress upon the earth, those are contractions, labor, birth pains of what is to come. Is going to get worse. And as those things get worse, you're going to start seeing it. Like when a woman is prevailing with a child, you start seeing the child come out. You're going to start seeing the truth comes out. The world spiritually will be shaken more than it will physically from whatever earthquake. That is what those symptoms are. And as people start to awaken who they are, coming to the truth, and this harvesting that will be harvested between the weeds, the wheats, the tares, people who are thorns. You got some people who are of light that are mixed in this realm that we live in called earth, this world, with wheat, with people of light. Okay? People are awakening up and coming to who they are. This generation, everybody's not a child of God. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. Everybody is not a child of God. Just like everyone who is black is not a Hebrew, is not an Israelite, is not a Jew. The real Jews. They're not. Some of them are Africans. Some of them are of a different bloodline. Okay? Not from the seed of Abraham. This is factual. And this is why I say this goes deep when it comes to those secrets and those secret societies and those fraternities. Not saying that people who are Jews and Israelites can't hurt themselves by this stuff, because we all know what happened and the judgment that came about when black people made decision to go into other different gods and cultures and start doing that like they're doing today, making a big mistake. So the great falling away is definitely happening. It's happening. There's a reason why a lot of people are leaving the church. They're leaving the church. Some black people really did not know who they were. We've been told that our existence of who we are started during slavery. That's all we know, and after that, we don't know what else happened. If you're either African or in some African place, but that's a threat. That is a threat for black people to really wake up and know who they are and start calling on the Lord throughout the whole nations of the world, wherever they are, and that light become activated for real and know the truth. and come into their purpose. A lot of them, that is a threat. Because it's not just about you being black and your bloodline and where you come from as a people. It's you coming into the light and living right. And people, they don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. Some of us black people don't want to listen. We're very stubborn and stiff-necked. The origins and the race of people really do matter. Down to everything that they do, what they practice, what the music they listen to, what they eat, how they dress, the gods that they serve. In ancient times, that would be that you identify another race of person by the name of them, by their religion, and by their god. And this is the reason why I say that black people are really not from the Illuminati. They're not. Illuminati simply just means forbidden knowledge, the enlightened ones, the ones that have, forbidden knowledge, that, that's just forbidden knowledge. They think they're enlightened. They what they've traded in for knowledge is it wasn't supposed to do that. That's not the good knowledge. Black people are the real Jews. The ones that call themselves Jews are not. They're Jewish. Ish meaning to be like. These Ashkenazi, European, white people, Caucasus Mountain people, Neanderthal, wherever you want to call them, vampires, they are not the chosen people. They're not. But they've lied throughout the whole world with white Jesus. It doesn't matter, honestly, to me personally, what color Jesus is. But this is okay. Like, your white people is mainly, their terms are the Edomites. They are identified by a tribe too. The Edomites, the Greeks, the Romans, the French people, other races of people that they have mixed in with, who is not really preferred as a race, like the Asian race community and Hispanic community, and I think other ones too. And the reason being for that is because those people who they mix and mingle with as well, white people, they have black in them too, which is why they're not really considered a race, because they're mixed within with a lot of other origins of races and groups of people, black, white, especially Asian people and Hispanic people and other people too, Arab people over in the Middle East, those countries, those people. So yeah, some people are just not solid races and groups of people. They're not solid. And prejudice and racism and skin color and colorism, they do practice that within those communities. They do that. Just like how they've done with black people when black people went to slavery. And then lied to them, changed the name, and told them they were African. And we've had many names. We've had Negro, we've had African American, Black American, or just black. So, our name changes. You know what I'm saying? Negro is the color black. African American, the ones who are from Africa, the continent of Africa for real, those are African American. Even some Africans know that these are not our people. We know our own people. We know our own kind, our own breed. We're not alike. Even though we're both brown and we have the same skin color, we're not alike. And that's why you hear a lot of black people talk about the hate and how a lot of those people look down on us and they think they're better than us, whether they be in the UK, Britain, or come from their own country, and how they treat and how they, perceive black people to be, and just everything negative about us to say when they, talk about us. Just not the same, even religious wise, especially. And that's why I'm talking about this. And I'm incorporating how the origins of people and who they are in their race really does combine with the belief and the spirituality, that it really does matter. That's why in the occult, in that world, that who you are really does matter. It really does matter. It does. Your bloodline and who you are, where you come, it really does matter. And I've said this before, people who are in the kingdom of darkness, it's many different races, ethnic groups of people. You have Asian people, you have white people. The Illuminati satanic cult has many different races of people throughout the world. It's global. It's a global, occultic, big, huge, evil, dark spiritual group of satanic people. Africans, satanic Africans, white people, Asian people, black people, Hispanic people are in it. They are in it. On the other side, the good side, same thing. Anybody can come to God. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, they can be on that side of light. They can be in God. They can be a Christian. They can be saved and do amazing things in God and live right and love people and love everyone. Preach the word, find their purpose, live for the Lord, be of light. Right? Try to bring people on their side. It is a fight for souls. So in different religions and practices and beliefs, your race, only one that when it comes to only one that it doesn't matter what race you are when it comes to that. For real is God. It's an all together thing, but it does matter on the dark side in the occult. However, those people still do work together. They work together too, but who you are, it still does matter. It still does matter because people in the occult, they relate to who they are when they feel like they've awakened up to who they are and where they come from. They go back to people like you hear people in Freemasonry or people who discover themselves in the Illuminati, or they wake up to who they are, their ancestors, who they are, whether they be white, black, whether they be into voodoo, or that they practice Satanism, or they're Asian, they do Buddhist stuff, Indian, other I don't know, Kundalini, Indian demigods or whatever. I don't know. So your roots in the occult really does matter. However, it's the same thing. It's against God. It's evil. It's demonic. It's to change you, and you get evil enhanced powers. You can do things, manipulate, travel, astral project, all that stuff that is forbidden. That is the occult. Hidden knowledge, going to other dimensions, not becoming human, dealing with things that aren't human. That is just an abomination. You feel me? That is the occult. And there's many different people in it. And that's why it is dangerous. They're dangerous, and it's nothing to play with. These sorcerers and high-ranking people from other nations and countries within their belief system and religion of these demons and gods they serve come together. And they go energetically, they are evil. They come together and they do what they do. They give themselves a name. Whether it's the Kabbalah, Illuminati, the 27 Club, they hide behind many things. They hide in religion. They hide. People who are evildoers, witches, warlocks, sorcerers, they hide behind the curtain. They are the puppet masters. They are the ones in the masquerading mask. They hide. So the origins of people and their race, who they are, really does matter. Now, people who are in God and on the side of light. Okay? The truth of who black people are still will not be forgotten. These things are still going to be fulfilled. And we're waking up. Some of us did not know this. A great falling away has happened when it's come to the church, the black church. People have been let down, disappointed. It's not doing too good. People are waking up and finding out who they are, discovering new paths of what they feel like is enlightenment, finding themselves. They're mad at God, Bible. They didn't know, or they just don't agree with it, or never resonated with it. So this is the great falling away, and also a result in people who do not belong to God. Because everybody is not a child of God. Some people are the child of the devil. They are. Children of hell, evil seed. Yep, serpent seeds belong to cursed bloodline. Got to break off some generational curses. They do not belong to God. Or they've made their choice and decide to walk away. And they really do. Let's keep it a buck. A lot of black people have walked away. We're going backwards. This is what black people did before they went to judgment. They was told they will go into Egypt again. Egypt simply means house of bondage. Means house of bondage. You will go into slavery again. And spiritually, America is literally Egypt. If you're a real Jew, Hebrew, Israelite, if you're in tune to who you are and you know, and it literally is. You can literally say like, yeah, America literally, spiritually is Egypt, and some may say Babylon. To me, it is Egypt, spiritually. Black people waking up and knowing who they are, the other chosen people, that is a threat because someone has taken who they are and they have their own community, and you can't really talk about them or touch them because they'll get in trouble. They're not the real people. It's not them. Other nations of people, and this is the truth, is what I believe. Judgment. Other nations and people who have contributed to the downfall of chosen people, chosen black people, sorry. They will pay for what they've done and try to do to black people. When you hear about this stuff and black people complaining, people are just tired of it. Like, what are you talking about? Everyone goes through stuff. Everyone's lives matter. Our voice not being heard, suppressed, etc. A lot of long list lines of things. When we go through and we have to go to hospitals, what's those? Abortion clinics, putting things in our food, our hair products, trying to depopulate us, the things they do to our children, how we're discriminated against. You can easily identify who the real Jews are. There's people who are contributing to our demise. They know who we are and they know who our God is. They are against that. They will be judged. These nations and people will be judged. And I do believe when you hear certain things about certain nations going into judgment, like European nations and other people with low birth rates and stuff happening into their community, which is rare, that race of people, drugs being in their community, bad things happening to their children, they're being raped, killed, murdered. When you hear stuff like that, I do believe that those are symptoms of judgment for a lot of those other people, those other races of people, because they have contributed and tried, not even tried, especially white people, especially. So the judgment in the end times is going to be bigger, greater, and grander on a bigger scale. Bigger scale. Especially as the truth, this is why I said as the truth begins, as people start to wake up to who they are, not just the wicked side of people, the other side of people too, and who belongs to God, especially by blood, especially. That's why you're hearing everyone talk about this stuff. This is a wicked and evil and adulterous, perverse generation who seek a sign. That's why you're hearing all this talk about who are the chosen ones, who is the 144 and 1,000. Who are they? Who are they from these 12 tribes of Jacob, Abraham? Who are these people? This is what the snake. This is what the lion that goes around seeking who he may devour. He never sleeps. He's watching, listening. This is spiritual warfare. And as the truth comes out more and more and more, people start to wake up, anybody, especially black people, that is a threat. That is a threat. Naturally, you see that outcome. Spiritually, anybody can be in God, in the light, spiritually, but in actuality, in reality, in the natural, that is still a threat. That is still a threat when it comes to black people. They don't care if you wake up and go into Freemasonry and get into your ancestors and practice voodoo and witchcraft and get into the occult. Those are the people who are in the Illuminati. This is why the enemy works overtime. That's why he works every day, does not sleep. This is why he's trying to get you to sell your soul, to curse your generation, to make covenants that it'd be hard to get out of throughout the whole history of your bloodline generation when they're still here years later. That is a struggle. That is, and a lot of black people, they do have generational curses. When they join Freemasonry, when they get into voodoo, when they get into the stars and cosmic and new age and willpower, they're tainting themselves with darkness, especially if they made an oath or a covenant to a god, to another deity. So hard to get out of that. If they haven't done that, that's why I say no one, no matter what race they are, especially black people, should not be a part of those things. But black people throughout the history of who we know they are to be have always seek to want to be like everybody else. Even in the book, if you read in the Bible, they always wanted to they always wanted to be like everyone else. Like, we want a king too, just like those other nations of people have a king. God wanted to have rulership over them, but they wanted a king, and that king did not treat them well. They started going to other gods and practices, things they were doing to their children. Okay? So this is the issue. That's why you're seeing a big blow up and a revelation of a lot of people who are part of a lot of secret societies that have generational curses on them, who are black. Things are coming to the light, and it goes way back since the beginning of time, since the Egyptian times, the Greek times, the Roman times. You see the symptoms of this. This is why when you hear people talk, we're in a paradigm shift, we're in the matrix, everything around us. And when you wake up and you realize, you see how deep this stuff goes, and the rabbit holes and the origins of things and people and religions and everything, it'll just blow your mind. It's a lot to take in. It's knowledge, though. It's truth. It's revelation. And the revelation still is to come, and still more. It's not finished. Still more things has to be fulfilled. We don't know what's going to happen next year, tomorrow, next week, 3 days from now. We just don't know. The spiritual realm does not sleep. Okay? So judgment, the waking up of people, good and bad, black people, the end, who you really are, where you belong. This is what is all going to tie into the end times. When you hear the Bible talks about nation rising up against nation, nationality, that means nationality. Nation just means nationality. There's going to be nationality rising up against nationality. Rumors of war, diseases, dividing, people betraying people, getting them killed, thinking they're doing a service to God. Even, people in your family, you just, that spirit of Antichrist is going to come. It's coming. This is why it's important for people to wake up and start to distance themselves away from the world. Be separate. Like the Bible says, get away from people who have tainted themselves. They have no light on them. They've joined things. They're a part of things. Get away from them. Be your own celibate self, even if you haven't made a decision and you know the truth, because it's not going to be good for you. It just won't. It's going to come a time where it's going to be every man for himself, and you really just can't trust anyone, especially if you just happen to be chosen. A chosen one, you just can't trust anyone, especially people who are chosen. They walk alone. If anything, they have to walk alone. People can't do that today. We've seen the symptoms of that. People cannot be alone. We've seen that during COVID. People could not be alone. They could not be alone. They were having babies. I've heard people say throughout the time of COVID, they woken up to something else and got into a spiritual practice. They turned their house into a bar, party. People are not ready for what's coming. People can't be alone. Isolation is a good thing sometimes because you get wisdom and knowledge. You can be dealt with, especially by God. It is good for you. It is good for you. And in a walk of light, and people who are going to scarcely make it in, only the strong will survive when it comes to that. It's going to be a fight if you want to go to the paradise, to heaven. You have to be strong. I'm not going to tell you that it's easy. You're not going to go through things and have to fight. Only the strong will survive. The kingdom of heaven suffers violence and is taken by force. You have to take back what was stolen from you. You have to fight evil sometimes. You have to be strong. It's not a physical fight. It is a spiritual fight. You have to go into battle sometime. That's why a lot of people don't want to do this. They leave church. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do this. People's hearts are not becoming good. They don't want to do this. They want what they want when they want it. They don't want to love. They don't want to forgive. They judge. They don't want to put God first before they put themselves. They're selfish, they're boastful, prideful. It's about get back, revenge, manifesting what I want and feeling good in my darkness. This is why the world is becoming the way it is, because we're getting far away from God and the light and what church really used to be and who God really is. And it's not just about going to a church building. It's about how you live in secret every day. God's eyes is everywhere, even when you're sleeping. He does not sleep. He is the real protector. Him and his angels, they don't play. They don't mess around. It's real. The light is real. And it really does overcome darkness. Darkness knows that. Evil knows that. The enemy knows that. And this is what people want to fool around with and play around with and think that the stuff evil is their friend. And is smiling in their face, holding their hand, walking with them on their way to hell, to the flames. Their final destination. In these last days, good will be persecuted. Some will be put to death. People know the truth about this. You have to die for this stuff. People died for this in the past. They died for this truth in the past. You might have to lose your life. The ones who are really going to be saved and really make it in is the ones that endure to the end. People think the end of the world, the end, whenever your end is, the end of your life. Some people's judgment has already came. They're not here anymore. Their end was probably yesterday, 5 years ago. It's their end. Where's your eternity? Where will you be eternally? This is why the enemy, he's getting mad. He's getting angry. It doesn't matter. This is why time is going to be short for him. This is why he's trying to go around like a crazy person, seeing whoever he can taint, bite, corrupt, curse, deceive, walk away from the light, walk away from God, lie to them, bring up old emotions and things in your heart that shouldn't be there, which is why your heart should be pure when you're in the light. You need to have on the full armor, because that's his job, to penetrate and to get you to be confused and decisive and walk away and be lost. Not know the truth, knowledge in who you are in God, who you are. He don't want you. Do y'all see what's going on in this world? Do y'all really want to be here when Jesus come back, get his folks, and y'all didn't go with him? Y'all see what they trying to do to everybody? Why is everyone talking about this? Why do the powers that be, people that work in evil high place, why do they want to poison everyone, to have everyone feel just dud and confused and spraying stuff in the air and just spying on people? Why is this? Why is darkness? Why is the talk of being watched, gang stalked, monitoring spirits, people of climate change, people messing with the weather patterns and witches and people turning into birds and shapeshifters and skinwalkers? Do you want to be here? Do you know that evil, this is the evil that's going to be amplified the most when light is gone? Strong delusions is what the Bible speaks about, that they may be damned because they did not choose the truth. They did not choose God, is what God says. Strong delusions, they're doing that right now. They're practicing those things. Do you guys see what people are talking about? With these airplanes coming down, with these fake, silly sicknesses. You know, some of it may not be fake, but this is what they're rehearsing this. So when it actually happens, they'll say, "Oh, aliens took these people." When people try to escape and leave, they're going to be in such a fear, because we remember last year and not too long ago where planes were going down. And we don't need to go here because sicknesses and diseases and all of this, and what should we eat and food and what they are doing to the food. We don't know where to go, where to turn. We can't think. It's going to be panic. You're not going to know what to do. A lot of people are going to lose their minds. They're not going to handle this. They're going to kill, betray, steal, and loot. It's going to be chaotic. And you think you're going to just be chilling? You think, and that is the part where people are deceived. You think you're just going to be hiding in a camp somewhere just with people you can't even get along. You can't even be kind and love, and you're just like, and you think you don't have survival skills. You don't have connections. You probably don't have money like other people do. And you think you're going to be able to survive this? It's best to make a choice and choose. Choose. Even the people in high places who think they're going to escape, they won't. And I know we love to hear that. Oh, they think they're going to escape and be in those bunkers and have all that money and be on an island somewhere. Everybody's going to be escaped. Everybody's going to be escaped. Nobody's going to escape from this. Nobody. Billions of people are going to die. It's going to happen. The Bible speaks about this, how a third of man will be slaughtered. It also says, where shall the sinner appear? If the righteous scarcely make it in, meaning if these days are not shortened, because they are going to be shortened, especially for children of God, if it wasn't, everyone will die. That's literally what's going to. So where are you going to appear if you're not in God? Where are you going to go? Where are you going to run? What are you going to do? There's cameras everywhere. There's watchers. What are you going to do? Especially when darkness rules and reigns and the light is gone. What are you going to do? People of light, Christians, are not going to be safe. People who don't want to join with this new world order and this deep state stuff that's going to affect and fall on everybody. Big, great, small, free, and bond, like the Bible says. Everybody. Everyone. And the ones who barely have it and barely can't get by and make it, they're going to get affected the most. But if they're in the Lord, they won't. God will be with them. But what's going to happen to you? We're getting closer and closer to these devastating times. This is where we are. This is why things don't feel the same anymore. It's why people are still blurting and crying about this. Nothing feels the same anymore. Nothing's the same anymore. There's been a shift. Nobody's the same anymore, not even families. This is why. This is the reason why. Because darkness is growing in people, in the world. They've accepted it. They're pushing it on us, and we become so desensitized because we're used to it. They're pushing it in the books and the movies. This is what they're doing. One day it's going to be over. Time is running out. The Bible says, and I'm going to paraphrase, when the word of the Lord is preached throughout the world, then the end will come. It's here. It's going to happen. And don't think for a second that martial law and this stuff is not going to hit America. It is going to hit America. They're here. That's why they're letting people in. They didn't build that wall so that people wouldn't come across. They did that so they won't leave. That's what I heard. Because the best thing for you to do when these times hit is not to be in the cities. It's not. It's to have your own land and own that. That's why they want to prevent people and they harass people, especially black people, from owning their own land. Judgment is coming upon a lot of people. Especially the ones that have been picking at the Lord's children for the longest. It has not been forgotten. America is going to pay. A lot of people are going to pay. People who are sinners and did not come to light are going to pay. They didn't make decisions. They're going to anyone who's in darkness is going to pay. Judgment is going to fall on all of those who are not in light and that have contributed to evil doings and evil things. These times are here and they're swiftly approaching. Stay prayed up. Get some knowledge. You don't have to listen to me. Get knowledge for yourself. Open a book. Read to anybody who's watching this. Read. Do your research. That's the problem. We're so distracted with everybody else's life. The puppets that they use. Social media. This is why everyone's going to get caught off guard. Head buds in their ears. I guarantee you when the rapture happens, a lot of people are going to be looking down at their phones and have them things in their ears. They're going to be looking up like, what's just happened? What's going on? I have to take off one earplug and be like, what is going on? Why are all those clothes on the ground? Why did random cars just stop in the middle of the street? And what's going on? It's going to be it's going to be sudden. It's going to be so chaotic. That's going to be the worst day on earth, is when that rapture really does happen. And everybody's not going. Everybody's not going. When I say everybody, it has nothing to do with race. Everybody's not going. A lot of black people ain't going. A lot of everybody ain't going. If you have not come to the light. For real, for real. Some people have really checked. Some people have checked out. They know they ain't going, so they just trying to live and do as much as they can and just enjoy whatever, because they've checked out. They're like some people have walked in and just have accepted their fate of just being doomed. Can y'all believe that yeah, those are the people that are a part of the great falling away too, for sure. For sure, I forgot to mention them, but you have some people that just walked away, checked out, just like how some people do a marriage. Been married for 20 years, and all of a sudden, all my 20 years I've been married to you, you just, for some reason, you don't want to be married no more. That's strange. See, we leave God. He doesn't leave us. He doesn't. We do. We get tempted, enticed. We have other ideas. We can't do it no more. We throw in the towel. We don't want to fight anymore. We give up, and that is the great falling away. A lot of people, like, there's billions of trillions and point billions of people in the world. A lot of people have done this. Some of them are our strongest people, warriors. They can really enhance the kingdom of light, but they don't want to do it. Which is why darkness is growing. But darkness still can't overcome the light either way. Still can't. That's why you got to work out your own soul salvation. Your own, for you. It's not about who's seeing you, who's watching you, about people. It's God sees you. It's not, no matter, it doesn't matter what they think. They ain't going to be with you 24/7. They ain't going to be with you all the time. Not them. Make up your mind. Make a choice. Time running out. Stay prayed up and safe.